To West Africa, Chadian military sources say Boko Haram fighters attacked Chadian Army positions in Gambaru. That's a town in northeastern Nigeria on Wednesday, but were repelled. Chadian troops are in Gambaru as part of a regional offensive against Boko Haram, whose militants have staged several cross-border attacks over the past weeks as part of its campaign to establish an Islamic caliphate. An intensification of Boko Haram violence in northern Nigeria continues to send thousands of Nigerians fleeing across the border. The influx of refugees is putting further strain on some of the poorest nations in Africa, which are already struggling to feed and protect their own people in a region that is recovering from drought. Niger's parliament has unanimously approved the deployment of troops to northern Nigeria as part of a regional offensive against Boko Haram, which has launched several cross-border attacks in recent days. Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, Chad and Benin have agreed to send a joint force of 8,700 troops to battle the militant group.
There's been fierce fighting, and the challenge is how to reach people that is camping there. We know already there are more than 10,000 refugees and displaced people waiting for the food assistance that was due this week. I think the situation becomes even more challenging as we have no possibility to reach Boso.
Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission recently postponed the February 14th presidential election until March 28th due to security concerns, relenting to pressure from the ruling People's Democratic Party. The poll pits incumbent Goodluck Jonathan of the PDP against former military ruler Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressives Congress in what is expected to be the most hotly contested election since the end of military rule in 1999. Meanwhile, for the thousands of refugees living in makeshift camps across the Nigerian border, life is a constant struggle. Buhari, who is running for a fourth time against the PDP, believes that he will win. Jonathan was initially viewed as the front-runner, but the momentum appears to have shifted to the opposition in the past few months. Many Nigerians see Buhari as a strongman against corruption and believe he will have more success in stopping Boko Haram. The United Nations World Food Programme plans to reach 238,000 people with food assistance over 12 months, but insecurity makes it increasingly risky for humanitarian agencies to operate, especially in remote areas. Well, for more perspective on the growing threat of Boko Haram in West Africa, I'm joined by Professor Kwaku Nuamah. He's a senior fellow at the Center for Conflict Resolution at American University. Also in the studio today is Jamila Fagge, host of VOA's Hausa Service Youth Show, Yauda Gobe, today and tomorrow. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks.
Now, I want to start with you, Professor Nuamah. Boko Haram, especially if you listen to the threats by its leader yesterday, whoever the name is now, you get kind of you get the same vibe as that you get from ISIS. What do you make of that?
Well, what it says is that this is not the old Boko Haram that we had come to know. They are changing. They're changing very fast. They are internationalizing the conflict, and you can see from yesterday's YouTube post that it was all in Arabic, and he kept name-checking ISIS. So this is a group that wants to be seen as part of the broader global jihad, and it's also become a regional security threat. It's no longer a Nigeria or Cameroon problem anymore. So
initially,
it's changed.
It looked like whenever they're speaking, it was like just they're bluffing. But realistically, what is the magnitude of the threat? Well,
these guys have a lot of money coming in. They've taken territory about the size of Belgium. They get an estimate, say, about $10 million a year. They're getting money from kidnapping, ransoms. They're getting money by raiding banks. They are different entity. And so we have to take them seriously. And I'm glad that the African Union has finally understood that we need a regional approach to this problem. It's not a small problem anymore.
Yeah. And Jamila, turning to you, we know that this conflict, this terrorist activities have really impacted on the youth, particularly the girls. What are you hearing? How has it kind of impacted their day-to-day activities?
Absolutely. What's more scary is the fact that Boko Haram is actually using women, young girls, for the, the suicide bombing. So initially, we thought it was just the young boys on the streets that get picked up, by the members. But now young girls are being turned into it, and a lot of them are actually saying that their fathers, their brothers, uncles, those that they trust their lives with, are the ones that are selling them into Boko Haram.
And why are they doing that? Why are they selling their kids to terrorists?
A lot of them, it's really the fact that that's the only way that they feel that they could be heard. A lot of people, the young people, are actually turning into Boko Haram for their voices to be heard. They feel that they don't have a platform to share their anguish, their despair. So these people, they listen to them, they feed them, they give them place to live, and they basically do whatever it is that they want to do. However, a lot of the young people are expressing the fact that they actually don't even know what they're doing. Some of them are giving drugs, some of them are actually not even in their senses when they're picked up. So it's very difficult to really understand how they get them or convince them, to bomb themselves up.
Professor Nuamah, you say you are delighted that the African Union has, woken up to the real threat on the ground there. But what do you make of the strategy and the numbers? You saw the leader of Boko Haram saying 8,700 is nothing to us.
It's a drop, but it's the right kind of drop. You build on that. But you need a military plus strategy. It can't just be the military. You need to now start thinking about regional cooperation in terms of intelligence sharing. You need to start going after their funding sources. You need to start looking at domestic networks that support them. You need to start targeting them, because this is a guerrilla movement, so they're always going to be moving around. So there's a lot that you can do, but you need everybody on board.
Yeah, this movement has been growing. What do you say in terms of why did it get to where it is today?
Most of it goes back to what she just explained. There are problems within these countries, starting with Nigeria. I mean, think about what General Buhari said. It's a shame that smaller countries are actually outperforming mighty Nigeria in this conflict. Nigeria has problems at home, but that also gives us opportunities, because it means that if people are now, Boko Haram is now using volunteers to fight. They are conscripting people, they are paying people. So it means that if we come up with the right set of incentives, including political programs with amnesty and all that kind of stuff, we can probably get some of the people to stop fighting. Boko Haram itself is not one entity. There are international crisis groups say it's about 6 different groups fighting. So they are fishes which we can exploit. But it means that we have to bring everything, now, not just the military.
The international community, the U.S. and Europe, are so involved in crushing or trying to crush ISIS. What should be their approach to Boko Haram? Well,
the head of Africa Command, the U.S. Africa Command, David Rodriguez, has said that it requires a massive international effort. France is already there. You can see that this new AU task force is based in Jamila. The French are there. They're providing air cover, doing some of intelligence work. I think that what we need now is for the leaders of the region to admit that we have to work together. There's no shame in asking for help. And I think that Nigeria has been reluctant to do that. So I'd like to see the president step up and say, we welcome all help.
Let me get your last word. What are the young people saying in that part of the world?
They need education. They need to be enlightened. They need access and platform to actually voice their opinion. They feel that their narrative is completely changed. The fact that a lot of people are thinking that they're for it. They're actually supporting them. Majority of them are against them, and they really want to actually see force. And that's the reason why you could see the election this year is very important to them. They feel that this is the opportunity to get rid of them once and for all.
Well, thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
For your insights and perspectives. Well, Professor Kwaku Nuamah is a senior fellow at the Center for Conflict Resolution at American University, and Jamila Fagge is a host of VOA's Hausa Service youth show, Yao da Gobe. I hope I said that right. Today and tomorrow.